So, hello everyone. Today I'd like to present the paper co-written with Professor Kovalov. Unfortunately, he's not here today. So I'm so sorry for my French accent. I hope it will be not an obstacle to understand the content. So I will start with the starting points. We can mention three major contributions of Menger to economic science. The first contribution is his analysis of economic activity through the subjective value. The second is his defense of deductive approach. And the last one, and maybe the more important, is his evolutionary theory of social institutions. So Menger states that the central question of central question of social science is the explanation of the emergence of social institutions without general will that motivates their creation. So, what's this? Okay, doesn't matter. It's like a gold standard. Firstly, we will discuss some aspects of Menger's method. Then I will present the classification of institutions according to Menger approach, and then we will speak about the emergence of money and discuss the state intervention in the institution of money. Menger's methodological portrait could be described by several features, and the first one, it's a methodological individualism. Menger thinks that we have to analyze each economic phenomenon in the terms of individual action. The second point, it's a subjective methodology. It's a methodological subjectivism. This concept is particularly evident through the interpretation of subjective value and also information that leads to the determination of price on the market. Menger's approach is also a realist approach. Menger's would like to understand the things in their essence and in their nature. Also, Menger's approach is deductive approach, and he would like to formulate the law of economics in general. And another point that it's a causalism. So in order to understand, to explain the social phenomena, we have to understand the causal process. The causal process is in the emergence of this institution. So Menger's method is really general and allowed us to understand the phenomena, economic phenomena in their generality. So Menger's proposed a classification of institution, drawing an analogy with with natural organism, and one part of institution called pragmatic presents the result of the positive legislation or the agreement of the members of society. Example like a political party, and the other part of social phenomena called organic, and presents an unintended result of efforts made by individuals that pursuing their own interest and own goal. So we speak about an unintended result of their effort, and it's really important. So several social phenomena could be present like organic phenomena: language, religion, law, competition, prices. And Menger put this question in the center of economic science, so how we can explain the social phenomena without the common view directed to establishing of them. So, maybe so. Yeah. The emergency of money could be considered as a classical example of an organic institute, and Menger criticizes the theorist of the time that considered that money was a programmatic institute created with a positive legislation or social convention. So Menger criticized this approach, and we can ask some questions. How can we invent social institutions that have never existed before? What exactly should state or group of people create? Because we don't speak about assigning some commodity to fulfill the role of money. We speak about invent the money as an institution as well. So there is two aspects of exchange. I think that you know the inequality of subjective values, that the goods that we receive also for us more valuable than the goods that we give away. And another point, it's a sufficient level of the market infrastructure, so the agents could meet each other to do some transactions. And Menger also tells us that the theory of money necessarily presupposes a theory of saleableness of goods. So, and he determined some factors of exchangeability of goods. I'll skip it. So, but money, the emergence of money, it's a really evolutionary process. So individuals don't understand immediately the benefits to own the goods that are more exchangeable than other goods. And when other people understand this advantage, the diffusion of knowledge leads to the formation of social institutions. So for Menger, it's sure the essence of money is being a medium of exchange, nothing else. Money is a spontaneous institute, and state did not play any role in the emergence of money. So there is three more important effects on market of emergence of money. The reduction of transaction costs, it's the reduction of time to find a counterparty for a deal, the reduction of uncertainty, and the other one is the possibility to make an economic calculation. Menger also argued for some state interventions in the latest state of emergence of money. Menger thinks that legal tender will increase the exchangeability of goods on the market. Also, state took the responsibility of certification of the weight and of the quality of the bars and coins. Menger believes that, private sector can do it, but everyone knows state, and there is more trust in it. So another point that Menger thinks that there is an inability of private sector produced sufficient quantity of money on the market, and for two reasons. The first reason that the high competition on this market leads the profitability low. And another point, there is a large amount of capital required to start this kind of business. But there is some contradictions in these two reasons, because if there is a competition on the market and there is many producers, so they already find the necessary capital to start this business. Another point, it's a unification of the payment system. It leads to the security of exchange. In history, we has at least one of case of the state without legal tender. It's a Grand Principality of Litva that exists without legal tender, as with many different currencies and including foreign currencies. So Menger assumes that there is some difficulties with a legal tender, and the first one, it's about the difference of market evaluation of coins with different degree of rare. Another point, it's the need of government to maintain the ratio value of coins produced with different kind of metals, because prices of metals fluctuate. So, and the other point, maybe the most important one, that states will create the dangerous illusion about existence of money. So states tries to reinvent the finality of money. And today it's about the price level standard with its all consequences. So Menger warned us that the legal standard doesn't make money perfect. And he took the example of French Revolution, where the legal tender was backed up with a guillotine, and the hyperinflation just destroyed all French economy. So to conclude, the essence of money, it's only universal medium of exchange, nothing else for Menger. So Menger refutes any role of the state in the emergence of money, but Menger states that the legal standard can improve the monetary system in the latest stage of development of money, but also causes some confusion about this. And last point, I will not develop it well, just some things. Distortion of money leads to disruption of related economic phenomena, like also organic economic phenomena, like interest rate, wages. So, and the cumulative destruction can conduce to the economic crisis. So, thank you for your attention.
We have again time for a few questions.
Yep.
Thank you, Olga, for the talk. You went into some of what Menger says, how money developed that Mises would consider commodity money by barter. Did he have any ideas on how credit money developed as well, by any chance?
Say again, Celeste.
Okay, so you went into sort of how commodity money developed through barter, right? What Mises would call commodity money, like coins, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But does Menger have any sort of theory of where credit money comes from? You know Mises' classification where he goes, there's credit money, like I don't know, money that has the value because of the stamp of the state, like coins, that sort of thing.
For Menger, it should be.
Credit wasn't money, was it?
Commodity can be you have many. It's mandatory as a commodity that have a internal value. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, just want to add on this point on the question. Menger and Visa both use the term credit money, but probably in a different sense than you mean. They just refer to it as the issuance of money substitutes that are not backed through a credit transaction. So when you increase the amount of media of exchange or money substitutes that are not backed, you create credit money. So it's part of the gold standard system, basically. That's how they understood the term.
And in this period, it was not a problem, really.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will have a question. I'm not sure whether to the last speaker, because we had two papers presented about Manga and in this panel. So my question would be, the last speaker mentioned the idea of causal realism or causality. So basically we had this small talk today before about determinism. Do you think that there is any sort of anchor for the idea of people's choices being determined when we talk about causal relations existing on the market, and that Manga was really after finding causes of prices and finding causes of people's decisions, that how they really are on the market?
I'll give just the simple example. Before the subject evaluation of some action, if you can use the means to just attend the ends, for example, if I cannot use the glass to call, so there is no causal process, so I cannot use it. So we cannot speak about other things if there is process doesn't exist. So this is the point.
I now determine that we are out of time. So thank you, Dr. Peniaz.
Thank you.
And thank you for attending our panel.